Hey, we made it. We made it just in time. So we'll be coming to you live in just a minute.
Hi.
Hello.
It's Jaime and me.
And Sara.
We're coming to you live from the Bottleneck Studios in the beautiful Ozark Mountains of Springfield, Missouri. Actually, we're on the Ozark Plateau here.
Yeah. Just away from Tornado Alley, actually.
Tornado Alley is all across the
And
Midwest.
don't worry, I'm still in beta.
Mm-hmm. And I don't need Google because I listen to podcasts.
That should say wife. I don't need Google because I listen to my wife.
So it's Jamie's birth week.
I made it.
He has a whole week of celebrations for number 51.
Oh, 51.
I know.
That is crazy. Well, we're pretty excited today because we're going to be talking about plotting your direction for success. That is the underlying tone for the conversation today. And if you know anything about us, this is Live with Bottleneck, a special edition called A Week in Review, right? So a week in review with this most amazing and beautiful wife here. And what we do is we try to identify a theme for the week, and then we'll talk about some of the challenges that we had, how we overcame those challenges, and then what we're going to do next week. So it kind of gives you an inside look into what we're doing here at Bottleneck. We kind of open up our business to you. And then based on what we're currently doing or experiencing, we come up with a theme. And so in this time, it's plotting your direction for success. And hey, Barry Shelley says, happy birthday.
Rink of Dreams. How you doing, Barry?
Hey, how are you? Thank you. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so basically what we did, I don't know if you want to tell them, but a couple weeks ago, we did some pretty cool training. And the reason why we came up with this, or I guess I came up with it, plotting your direction for success, is because why?
Because we learned how to navigate with a compass and a map with grids on it. And it was a lot of fun. A random team of 3 of us.
And we kicked butt. I have to say.
We did.
We kicked butt. We went 9 points on an 80-acre piece of land. And we found these coffee cans. They're like
the plastic red Folgers or green Folgers.
Yeah.
Coffee cans.
Like nailed to a tree, like in the middle of like thick, literally thorny brush. We still have cuts from all the thorns that we walked through. Most people are like, "Oh, that doesn't seem like fun," but it was a blast. We found 9 of those in like 5.5 hours. Like we were in fuego.
Yep.
And we even stopped to kind of take a rest and eat lunch.
Yeah. But I will tell you, you need to plot. Why?
You need to plot so you can get a good direction, understand the direction that you're going. And if you don't take the time to align in this case the protractor, but if you don't take the time to align your business, your direction will be off. And
let me tell you, so we were off on one. It was a very challenging situation. It was raining. The map was wet, so the protractor kind of stuck to it, and it was hard to move it around, and you got to use this little thread to get your degrees of where you're going. Anyway, on one, we were off how many degrees?
38
degrees.
And here's the funny thing. I took the first reading, and I was 38 degrees off.
And Kurt,
the guy that was with us, he took the next reading. He was 38 degrees off. So we both thought we were in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Well, we were way off.
And sometimes that goes to show when someone double checks.
Yeah.
It's good to have a second set of eyeballs, but it's even better to have a third side.
And so the shorter the distance you go and you're off, you're not off that far. But if it had been a mile, we would have been way off. So just
yeah,
think of
so
that in your business.
1 degree off. If you're 1 degree off, like if you forget a declination or something like that, and we can talk about that if you want to, but if you're 1 degree off in a mile, you'll be is it 1,000 feet off, or it's 100 feet off?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're 1 degree off in a mile, you're going to be 100 feet off of this target that you're looking for. And if this target's something that's going to be really hard to find, in this case, a small little coffee can on the back of a tree in the middle of the forest, 100 feet, you're not going to be able to see that.
Mm-mm. No. And this was not a forest with a nice clear floor. There was a lot of underbrush under the trees.
Like you actually had to, they call it boxing.
Yeah.
So you would actually have to go, there was no way. We tried. Kurt tried to walk through the stuff.
You have to have a machete.
And it just, he would get so far and he'd be stuck in the thorn. So he'd have to back out and stuff like that. So they would have to, what you call is box it. So you walk a certain direction, you do a 90 degree, shoot a 90 degree azimuth from your direction. You walk until you overcome the obstacle. Then you do another 90 degree shot, walk until you pass the obstacle, all the while counting your paces, mm-hmm. because you have to know how far you're walking until you overcome that obstacle. Then you shoot a 90 degree reverse azimuth so that you can walk back however many paces you walked out in the first place so that you can maintain that direction. I mean, it gets pretty challenging and complicated, but it's fun.
Especially when there's not huge obstacles, but there's small obstacles. So you have to, I couldn't exactly walk in a straight line, but it was a pretty straight line, or you're going uphill or downhill and your pace count gets off, or you're walking on the side of a hill and you naturally just start to go downhill, and you can just start walking in a circle and not even know it.
Yeah, and they call it dead reckoning. And if you've ever heard that term, I can explain what that is. So basically, let me see. Denver says, watching from the Philippines. Hey, hey, Denver. Thanks for watching all the way from the Philippines. That's cool. So so a dead reckoning is, it's shooting an azimuth. And if you guys don't know what an azimuth is, it's a direction. So you're shooting a direction on your compass, and that's done by plotting out the point where you're at and finding out on the map where the point is you want to get to. From there, you lay the protractor down, and you have to be very careful to center the program or align it. And then what you do is you take a little string that's attached to this protractor and you lay it down on the protractor, and it's going to give you the direction, whether it's 273 or whatever. Once you get that direction, when you go from a map, which is true north, to a compass, which is magnetic north, mm-hmm. now the introduction of declination comes into play. Do you want to explain declination?
Well, declination is, so if you're going east, you subtract 1 degree. And if you're going west, you add 1 degree.
Or you add or subtract, but it depends on where you're at in the world, mm-hmm. because you could be in Washington, D.C., and there's a 16-degree
Washington State or Washington, D.C.?
Washington, D.C. Or maybe it's Washington State.
Washington State's even more. So just imagine.
It's we're almost on, what did they call it?
We're almost on that no declination line, whatever it is. Magnetic north.
Yeah, which is 0. So we had a declination of 1. So when you go from map to compass or map to field, mm-hmm. we had to what? Subtract 1.
Subtract 1. Yeah, so it's the opposite.
Right, because we were east of the. Were we east of it or west of it?
We were west of it.
We were west of it, so we had to subtract.
No, west of it. Well, okay, yes, if you went from map to compass.
Right.
Anyway, it's really confusing, but it was a lot of fun, and we learned a lot, and we learned how important it is, and it just translates so well to business.
Yeah, it does, and so when I wanted Sarah to go into declination because it gets really challenging, just like business does, right? And you have to do math. You got to figure stuff out. And if you're wrong, you can miss your destination. The good part about it is what you learn out of that, So when we were 38 degrees off, we walked all the way back to our starting point, reshot the new azimuth and found out where we made our mistake. And we pretty much went right to it after that. But dead reckoning is where you use a bunch of other sight marks. So if, in case there's just chaos out there, there's never chaos in the business world. Never. It's always clear. Everything is super clear. It's super easy. Business, you just open up and everybody comes and you don't need to do anything else, right? Yeah. That's BS. So much in the way that dead reckoning is a part of land navigation is because when you are doing dead reckoning, you cannot see the destination. So you use different site markers. So you'll shoot an azimuth and there can be a forest out here, but maybe there's one big tree that's darker and it's right on line. So what you can do is counting your paces still, but you can kind of walk wherever you want to as long as you get to that tree, because you know that tree is right on target. Then you step right around that tree, you shoot another azimuth, and you make sure that on that direction that you're heading, you find another site marker. Then you go to that site marker, and that site marker could be 4 feet away. It could be 100 feet away, right? It doesn't matter. But if you can't see because there's other things in the way, taking small steps or looking just a little bit in front of you will actually help you reach that destination. So you can kind of draw some similarities in business. And we thought that that was a really neat analogy. And you know, we had a lot of fun with that, just like we have a lot of fun with business.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was challenging and it was frustrating at times, just as it was. We had not just the physical obstacles, but the 3 different compasses. Okay. And every compass can be off a Sunto base plate can be off as much as 4 or 5 degrees. Yeah,
up to 5 degrees. And then the Army issue, what are they called?
The Kaminga
Tritium. Yeah. Those can be off up to 2 degrees.
Yeah.
And it was funny because we all shot the same azimuth and we were walking across an open field and we were all in a little bit of a different direction. Like it was pretty wild. And let me see, like you were down here, I was up here, and then Kurt was way up here. And it was pretty weird seeing us all walk out like this, you know, and we're like,
yeah,
where are you guys going?
And my compass had gotten wet, so it was fogging up, and so we thought mine was off. And then actually the instructor was there and he's like, no, she's closest. I'm like, okay. So it obviously didn't hurt the compass. I just had a hard time reading it. It was, you know, foggy and you can't see the numbers. And then my eyes. Thank you, Lord, for these eyes. Thank you, Mom and Dad. I appreciate it.
Well, the cool thing about this though is there's a pace count, and if anybody here knows what their pace count is, good for you. If you don't, basically what that is you set 100 meters apart, and then with your either your right or your foot, every time either your left foot or your right foot hits the ground, that's one pace. So you start off walking left, right, left, 1, you know, right, left, 2, right, left, 3. It's like that. That's how you kind of get your pace count.
And you do it 100 meters. And why do we do it 100 meters?
And you do it 100 meters because everybody has a different gait. Everybody has a different.
You walk your normal gait.
Yep, your normal gait.
Like you're walking down.
And you do it 4 times. So you walk up and down, up and down. And the reason why you want to do that is because you want to get a nice average. And then, so basically what that does is it lets you know every time you've gone 100 meters, you know what your pace count is. So now you can keep that in your head, or they have these ranger beads where you can, you know, pull down a bead and that's a marker of 100 meters, and then so 200 meters, 300, and then you get to 9, you can pull down a top one for a click or a kilometer. And so for me, my pace count is 69. What was your pace count?
76.
76. And what's neat about it is we'll walk out our paces and I'll say, are you at 100? She'll say, I'm at 100. And I'll say, yeah, I'm at 100 too. I've walked 69 steps. She's 69 paces. She's walked 76. And we're reading about, like, one time, Kurt, her, and me, when we did a box, we all walked back in and we were within 5 feet of each other.
Yeah, we were. It
was crazy. So it really does work. But what's nice about that is it keeps your distance in your head. So if you look on a map and between the 2 dots that you've plotted, you can find out what the distance is if you have like a nice a nice topographical map that has all the information, the declination, the distance, is it MGRDS?
So why do we do 100 meters? Why do we do meters instead of yards? Why don't we use the empirical system, the US standard?
Well, because everything's based on meters.
Yeah, it's easy. Everything's in multiples of 10.
Yeah.
So you could do yards, but I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to try to calculate all that. So get used to meters, people.
Well, and again, related to business, you got to figure out what's going to work best and what's going to work easiest for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like running business is hard, but you have to figure out what works best for you. In our case, learning this, and we used MGRS, which is military grid rating system. And on that is you can find there's all these different sizes of maps and things like that. What we wanted to do was find the map that had the most detail on the contour lines and stuff, so that we could also do terrain associations. A lot of stuff comes into this, but when you get that direction and you get the distance, maybe it's 450 meters to this next point. Well, now you know, because you know your pace count, that you're going to be doing about, it's about almost a half a click, 450. So when you hit 60, when you hit your pace count, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're not going to hit your 5th one, but you're going to go about halfway. So halfway between your pace count.
And you start looking.
And then they say, head on a swivel, start looking around, because you're right about there. And the thing you have to do is you have to trust your face count, and you have to trust your azimuth, your direction, trust your compass. And when you do that, instead of taking it off on your own and thinking, oh, no, it's over this way, I'm thinking, the second you start doing that, the second when you're going to get lost. And it's the same thing in business. You have to trust the direction that you're going, even though it doesn't seem right sometimes. If you're uncomfortable, chances are you're probably in the right direction, but you just need to stick with it. And then when you feel you're getting close, put your head on a swivel and start looking around, because that's when you need to check things, recheck your map, recheck your azimuth, look at the terrain, look at how is the business working right now. If at one time we found something, and good thing we could tell it was like a little bit of a ridge going down. We didn't need to be there. We found out that was the wrong way, but looking over here, it kind of went off into a little draw. So we reshot our azimuth from a different location and immediately found. So we made a mistake, gathered back up, communicated, reshot the azimuth, a new azimuth, by the way, a new direction. And we walked right to it. And it was funny because we saw the other teams going the other way, and they're like, they're going the wrong way.
You're going the wrong way. So it was, and you have to use all your tools. So there's several tools. When he said terrain association, that helped us with that one. We were looking at it, and I was like, that is not the right draw. That is, we are one over. We need to be on the next one. And as soon as we figured that out, and we started looking and using terrain association, and because it was too far for us to backtrack all the way back, we could have to the start position and started all over. But we went right to it. It was pretty cool.
It was. And when we finished this, like we called at the very end, there was a cell number there, and you had to call the instructor, letting him know, or the guy leading the land nav. We had to let him know, hey, we're done. He's like, you're done? Like, yep, we finished. Really? So we left at 11.
We were the last, and we
were the last
after,
group.
After 11, probably.
Yeah, probably after 11, because we were the last group to start.
The group that we saw going the wrong way, they started at 8 a.m.
Yeah, and we were already back at our debriefing, and it was probably another hour and a half till they got back.
Yeah.
And they wanted to go first because they lived the furthest away, so they could get out of there.
Oh, I know.
Poor people. Yeah. So, but it was fun, and so that we had a lot of fun with that. So we're excited to do the next one and just continue getting better at that, just like in business.
Yep.
So what were some of your challenges?
Challenges this week. Let's see, with me, it's always just has to do with workflows and, okay. I had a great week. Okay. So Jamie's birthday was Thursday, and that was also workflow Thursday, and the whole team, it was due the ops team to present your workflows. And while I was working on my workflows, it was just going through my mind, what are the signals? What triggers me to have to do this? So it was pretty cool. It was like minds think alike. So Jamie, I hadn't even discussed this with Jamie, and I had my whole outline there, and I was the last person to go. But before I went, Jamie had said, okay, here's what I envision. I want an outline of, okay, what triggers you to do that? Because everybody had their workflows, but it said like 1.1 onboarding. You're like, well, what is that? So you'd have to open it up and know what it meant. And anyway, I was like, yeah, Jamie and I think alike. So we kind of had the big picture, and the team, they were very focused on their individual duties in their positions. So that was fun. It was a challenge to get the workflows done, but it was a real challenge. But boy, we got all those workflows done, and now it's great because Jamie needed that so bad because of the challenges we're having right now with finding enough DAs. We can now look at the workflow of the onboarding team and say, okay, what's going on here? Where are we spinning our wheels? Where do we need to not spin our wheels and spin more focus on, or what can we do to make this better and make it easier for our team? Yep. So we're all going to collaborate. Me and the operations, we're going to collaborate for the next 2 weeks, come up with a plan. Jamie's he's going to look at everybody's workflows. So it should be fun. It would be good. It's going to be great for the business. Yeah,
it's going to be awesome. Yeah, this is 6 months of work culminating as of yesterday. Mm-hmm. So I really give it up to the team because it was hard to get this done, and it's so detailed. But the reason we did it is because we're making a big push right now to grow this company. We're in a big growth phase right now. And so when we bring on new people, we want them to be up to speed a lot quicker. Mm-hmm. And so now they have the tools and the resources to use in order to gain the confidence, and for us to have the confidence and then performing their roles good. So that's super, super exciting. One of the biggest challenges I would say that I experienced this week was trying to figure out, okay, we're now starting to get a lot more clients. We need more DAs, distant assistants, to support those clients. It's usually the other way around. Usually companies are working to go find more clients mm-hmm. because they have all this work that they can do for them. And because people are starting to realize how powerful distant assistants are, they're starting to come on board. Ooh, that sounds good. I really want that. And now we're starting to say, oh, because we vet our candidates hard, mm-hmm. right? Like they have to be really good for our clients. And we're having a bit of a challenge with that. So that's why we're trying to figure out, okay, what do we need to do? What do we need to do to be able to get candidates faster, vet them quicker, and better, to make sure that they're going to stick around, because we don't want to see the turnover and the mm-hmm. churn rate increase. We actually want to see that decrease, but we want to find really good opportunities and really good candidates. So we're going through all of that. So that's one of our challenges now, but it's a fun challenge to head on because, like Sara said, everybody's kind of coming together, comparing notes, and over the next 2 weeks, we're going to have a really tight situation going on.
And it was tough for our team. We actually had to say, you have to dedicate, because they're so busy. They're swamped, and bless their hearts, they're working so hard. But we actually had to say, you have to schedule, and we want to see it in your calendar where you're focused simply on workflows. And I can see everybody's calendar. We all share, especially so we can organize meetings together. But I see where they had scheduled in times for workflows. And the reason, okay, so when we provide a DA, part of that DA's responsibility in the first 90 days is creating your company's workflows. So while we are providing that for our clients, we were not dedicating the time that we needed to update all our workflows internally. So while we're so focused on making sure that the DA fits the client, and it's happily ever after 90 days, and that the client has this beautiful workbook of
workflow manual.
Yeah, thank you, workflow manual. We needed to get it done internally. Yep. And so it's a lot of challenges. But what we do and what we provide is, we practice what we preach. Now, it took us a little longer because we don't have the 90-day implementation plan for our our internal team. Why don't you explain what the 90-day implementation
So the
plan is?
90-day implementation plan is where we work alongside our clients, and we actually train our assistants. Our assistants will be hired by a client of ours, and a client of ours has a certain task that they want to delegate over this time period. It's in 3 phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, each 30 days, therefore 90 days. And then there's usually 2 to 5 tasks that are delegated each of those phases. And each of these 2 to 5 tasks that are delegated to the assistant, either through video instruction or Zoom or whatever it is. And then the distant assistant, the DA, then documents that all the way down to the click of the mouse button. So every time they click the mouse button, they record that as a step. They say step 1, do this, and then they take a screenshot of it. Step 2, do this, take a screenshot of it, and they make it pretty much, 3rd grade simple, so that and then what they do is they schedule a meeting with our client to say, hey, I've created the workflow for you. How does this look? This is step 1, step 2. And then that way the client can say, oh, that's really good. Or, oops, you forgot this and this. And they say, oh, okay. And they can adjust that on the fly. Does this look good? Yes, it does. Great. Now our client knows that the DA understands that tasks exactly how it's supposed to be done. So our client feels comfortable. They have confidence in knowing that they're going to complete this task and they're going to complete it in the right way. And it's also taken what's in the head of our client and gotten it out so it could free up space for them to focus on doing their best work, right? Something that they don't have to do anymore. And then that just kind of repeats itself over the course of the first 90 days. And then they build the workflow manual, and that workflow manual is all of the tasks that have been delegated to them over the first 90 days, along with a table of contents branded in their colors, their logo, all of that stuff. And that electronic document PDF version is then delivered to the client, and it's their asset now. So the client now has a workflow manual, and hopefully by the end of this 90 days, the client feels really good about the relationship that's been built between them and their assistant, so that now they feel comfortable even maybe delegating more responsibility. And it just kind of grows from there. And that workflow manual just kind of grows from there. It'll help build the valuation of your company. And if we're growing like we are, and you need to hire more people, now you know that people that are coming on board will learn the exact same way that you taught your first assistant. So yeah, it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, it's really powerful. I'm so excited. that is just something that really excites me. And also, you rolled out the referral.
The referral program, so the referral program will roll out. I'm waiting on getting the videos.
Oh, okay.
Because the videos need to be edited. But as soon as those videos are edited, we finally have a referral program in place. We're calling it the Bottleneck Partnership Program. And so for anybody that refers people over and these clients actually hire an assistant from us, they become a client of ours, we're going to be referring 5% to them every single month, paid quarterly, for an entire year.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And we also, if you know of DA candidates, we also offer a referral program for DAs, and you can email us to find out more about that.
Yep. If you want to, you can email us to learn about the partnership program. You go to partnerships@bottleneck.online. If you want to email us about just learning more on how you can get involved with that, or if you want to refer a DA or just learn more about it, you can email us at info@bottleneck.online. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Yep. And we love to talk.
No. Well, we're going pretty hard today. It is Hockey Friday, so it is beautiful. It's going to be a nice, beautiful day. 77 degrees outside, but we're going to go play some hockey because I got a hockey stick for my birthday, and I can't wait to use it. Why don't you tell them a little bit about Live with Bottleneck TV?
All right, bottleneck.online/TV. That's where you can find all our videos. You can find all our past episodes, a weekend reviews, or Live with Bottlenecks. So yeah, it's on YouTube.
And you can also find some fun videos too. Like if you go to bottleneck.online/BTV, like Bottleneck Television, that'll take you to our website. And we put down a bunch of fun videos that we did there. And we even had some Bottleneck shoes custom made from Nike, and we did a little unboxing there. So just goofball, silly stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully you'll come in and subscribe. Every time we have a new episode coming out, if you click the little icon bell there up in the top, and by the way, if you go to bottleneck.online/BTV, there's even instructions on how to do this. But if you click the little icon bell, you'll get alerted every time one of our lives comes out or any videos that we upload. You'll be the first to know.
Awesome. So what do we got coming up this week?
Okay, so we have coming up this week the CEO of CEO Essence, Renee Murata, and we're going to be talking about a new paradigm for leadership. So this is pretty intriguing. This is coming up Tuesday, May 4th, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, and what else is exciting about Jaime? You are officially an
author.
Quit repeating yourself.
Quit repeating yourself. And as of the time of this recording, this is live right now. It is April 30th. It is live. I have 6 days left on the Indiegogo campaign. Man, if you want to be part of the author circle, please go to the Indiegogo campaign. You can go to bottleneck.online/book. Make sure you put in the HTTPS : in front of that, the little HTTP thing. But if you go to bottleneck.online/book, you can support the book. You can either get your digital copy, you can buy one copy for $39. You can get a couple copies for like $100, and it goes on up from there. And the higher level you come in, the more stuff you get. You're going to help me pick out the cover. You're going to be able to read stuff early before it goes out to the public. You're going to give me feedback, and it's just really, really, really an unbelievable time. And I mean, it is not freaking easy to write a book. Holy crap. So by doing this and supporting us, we're going to be able to get that book out in September, and we're 86% of goal right now. So we only need 14% more to hit our goal. So if you can find it in your heart to support, us, please go to bottleneck.online/book, support the Indiegogo campaign, or you can go to Indiegogo and just type in "quit repeating yourself." And if you do want to share this link out with anybody, just make sure to put the hashtag "quit repeating yourself." And yeah, that's it.
That's awesome. I'm so excited. He's worked really hard on this book. He has a professional publisher that he's working with and editors, and he puts a lot of time and effort into this. And I've read some of it, and it's just amazing. I love his story. I love what he talks about, and he walks you through the entire process of how you hire someone, how you determine you need to hire someone, how you retain them.
Yep. And if you want to learn more about what it's going to be about, you can go to that Indiegogo campaign page, and on there is a video I did, and it talks all about, the 3 different parts of the book: culture, leadership, systems, processes, which we're big, obviously fans of, and then obviously recruiting and hiring. And so if you get a chance, at least watch the video. You'll get a much better understanding of what it's all about.
What take was that on the video?
Oh, and if you watch closely, and Denver says, "Thanks, Jaime and Sara. By the way, I'm from VA boot camp." Oh, Denver!
Cool.
Hey, cool. Hey, you're welcome, man. Oh, that's so great to hear. Good deal. Well, we'll be talking with you soon.
Yep.
And so, yeah, and one of the things, if you go there, you get a better understanding of what it's all about if you watch that video. And maybe I'll start posting that video.
And you'll see, if you look close, you might catch a glimpse of me.
Yeah, she was trying to help, and there was a mirror in the background. That's all I'm going to say. But let me know if you find that. We tried to be kind of nonchalant about that.
Yeah, we weren't even thinking, and it was like take number 562.
And if you can find the part where I have incorrect grammar, I noticed it. I say the word find, not found, in past tense. I noticed it. I know I did wrong, but I wasn't going to record again.
That was an interesting long night.
Oh boy, I started getting frustrated.
Yep.
She was just like,
okay, he's like, okay, hit start. So I was doing all the start button tech, and Jaime was talking.
So she produced the video.
No, we had professional producers.
We had professional editors.
Editors.
You were the producer. She told me I need to sit up. I need to move forward. I need to offer more. Nope, that's not going to work. And it worked out really good. So I'm super happy, except for the sound. That was my bad. I effed up on the sound.
Nah, I think it sounds perfect.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Anything else you want to say, hon?
No, everybody have a fantastic weekend. It will be, what is tomorrow? Is that May Day? Today, the last day of the month? May 1st is May Day tomorrow.
Wait, April 30th? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so everybody go celebrate May Day.
May Day, planting tomatoes.
And if you saw the movie Airplane and you remember May Day, oh, that's how I knew this. That's a holiday in May, and we did flowers, and we did go watch the movie Airplane.
Oh, Lordy. And don't call me Shirley.
Shirley.
Bye.